humans for whom the words "never again" carry special meaning.
So where are we going?
Further than we've ever gone before.
Report. Structural latching system integrity breached.
Prepare to take us out of here, number one. Fire up the engines, half impulse till we clear the nebula, then punch it up to warp 9.
Ready phases, load forward torpedo bays. Engage.
Homo sapiens. What an inventive, invincible species. It's only a few million years since they crawled up out of the mud and learned to walk. Puny, defenseless bipeds. They've survived flood, famine, and plague. They've survived cosmic wars and holocausts. Now, here they are, out among the stars, waiting to begin a new life, ready to outsit eternity. They're indomitable.
I'll give you moves.
Everybody lives, Rose. Just this once. Everybody lives!
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Everybody lives. Now, I'm sure you notice I have a more yellow hue going on. We have a new light bulb, which I like. I like my yellow light bulb, right? It's not really yellow. It's more like a warm color, warm light bulb. I like it, baby. I find it a bit more welcoming than the stark, harsh light bulb. Now, as I was watching the intro, I thought to myself, when I saw Tom Baker followed by Christopher Eccleston, I did the Wednesday intro. I hardly ever get to see it, so I like that one. But the Christopher Eccleston moment with "Everybody lives" rules. Everybody lives. I think that was the most defining moment as a Doctor, right? So wouldn't it be good to do an intro with all the most defining moments as a Doctor? What would you do, man? Okay, so I think for Tom Baker, you would have the "Do I have the right" speech, right? I got a thumbs down for "Do I have the right" speech. Really, that's really shocking. But okay, no, you can't please all the people, right? I guess not. You have a do you have a right to have the right speech? What would I do for Peter Davison? Let me think. Peter Davison. I think maybe it'll be a speech from what's it called again? Caves of Androzani, right? As he's crashing the ship. I got her into this mess. I got to try, right? I think that's very definitive of his Doctor, right? I mean, you could have gone. There should have been another way, but it's a bit weak, isn't it? And that's it. That's when we had the most oomph. Then Colin Baker. Okay, Colin Baker he actually had quite a few good defining moments. Let me think. It would have to be his trial speech, right? We're the most corrupt. Yeah, okay, that's his one. Then Sylvester would be. I would go for the scene with the snipers in Happiness Patrol. Well, I had this comment today from somebody here. Let me see if I can find it, because I think this is really genuinely interesting, right? Where would it be? It'll be because once you get rid of yes, it was I think it was in this one. Let me have a look at this video. These comments. If I go over here, where is it? Okay, here you go. It's like you hear all the time. And looking back over Doctor Who, I think this is actually quite a good window into this. Share screen, comments. Right, so here you go. Back comments. So, just pointing out, Doctor Who has always been a woke show. Always 20 years ahead of the standard. It was made by the BBC, first female producer, and a socialist. Well, yeah, she didn't end up so much of a socialist, darling. The first director was closeted gay, wasn't that closeted from what I understand? The second, I understand you saw Adventure in Time and Space. You're very excited with yourself. The second Doctor only had a romantic relationship with a male companion. Oh, that was the second Doctor who was contemplating playing it in blackface. Did you know that? I bet you didn't. They were talking about pronouns in the 2000s. Not really. And it was more as a gag. And then the showrunner is a gay man who had a drag queen in his work in the 90s. Okay. And Disney is an international distributor that is have likely to have very little influence on them. Oh, I disagree. I think they are absolutely preaching from the same. They are the same of the same mind, right? It's shocking some people believe the show was never progressive or woke. It's the most progressive thing on TV, and nearly for the entire one. So, which I respond to him. The mistake you're making is you're confusing liberalism for modern day progressivism. Liberalism is having all peoples live and work together, respecting each other without differences. That's something that any sane person would wholeheartedly support. Modern day progressivism, however, is akin to totalitarian fascism or a fundamentalist religion, with progressives being indistinguishable from intolerant religious bigots. They have no ability to coexist in peace whatsoever, and label anyone who doesn't subscribe to their ever-changing and wholly illogical set of bonkers beliefs as evil bigots, when in reality the opposite is the truth. The only time Doctor Who was woke was during the Whittaker years and beyond, when the character became a bumbling buffoon, lacking agency, and being a small-minded, petty bigot out of sheer stupidity and a desire to mindlessly follow the herd. Not really Doctor Who's finest hour. I would love you to cover my channel and talk this out further. Oh boy, I would love that. But sadly, most of the time I talk to people of with your outlook, they simply run screaming from having any genuine conversation, which is mostly because we all know we all really know how weak the woke arguments, even the proponents of them, how woke the arguments are, and they just can't stand up to any form of investigation. So it was good. It was good that he made a comment. Anyway, well, how do I get onto that? What was I talking about? Man, I was saying, funny thing, yesterday I remembered, this morning I remembered, I forgot something midstream or on last night's stream, right? On my stream. And I remember that thread, in the morning. I was like, oh yeah. What did I come in talking about? It was... Oh, best Doctor Who moments, right? Yeah, so again, this guy thinks, I know anything about Doctor Who. No, you bloody don't. Shut up. Anyway, so we are doing the Alco Doctor Who moment. So we did Sylvester McCoy. Well, Paul McGann. I know. What are you going to do? I Am the Doctor, or These Shoes Fit Perfectly, or something from Night of the Doctor. I guess it's Regeneration Speech from Night of the Doctor, right? 9 would be Everybody Lives, right? Or would you put the War Doctor in then? Yeah, I mean, look, there's what I do in the name of all sanity, or so one of those things on the War Doctor. 9th is Everybody Lives. 10th Doctor is, what's his archetypal moment? You could do a bunch of different ones, man. The 10th Doctor, you got a lot of choice of. Something with lots of running, I think, right? Or maybe the fate of the people from what's it called again? Family of Blood and Human Nature. Nah, he's not that. He's not normally that mean. Right, he's already much happier and nicer. But did he have any? I mean, Honestly, I would go from the soothsaying speech from the Fires of Pompeii. Something like really. I mean, you could do Gallifrey, but I think it's much more really. I think it's much more indicative of what his doctor was like. Yeah, so it looks like you're being out soothsayed, right? Aside from there, I have to look around for more, right? Matt Smith, hello Stonehenge, obviously, right? Who takes the was it Pandorica takes the universe? That one. And Capaldi, I mean, pretty much every episode. No, you know what? I would say, and then we got to do the first three. I would say Capaldi would be from the pilot, the first episode of season 10, which I thought was his best season. I really did. And he's giving a talk about how time travel works, like what different ways of looking at time. That was very good, right? I don't know. I would maybe compare this with kids. He's very good with kids. So Third Doctor. What would you do with Third Doctor? Man. I don't know. That's an interesting one, right? That is an interesting one. Maybe something with something in the Three Doctors, right? Does he have he has a confrontation with the Time Lords in the Three Doctors, doesn't he? I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's really something in the Three Doctors. For Troughton, I already got Troughton in the Saturday intro. I can just remember people if I want to, right? Otherwise, I keep them all hidden away. And again, Hartnell. I'm thinking about it because I think of the Dave Bradley take on it. Was it when he's talking to the Cybermen? What about fear, love, emotions? Have you no emotions, sir? Whatever that line was. That sounds pretty good. I always used to like, back in the, I don't know if they still do, but Panopticon in the 80s when I went there, they used to have these big video screens, and they used to have like this like very slow, long-running Doctor Who titles, like, and it will be like each Doctor. And it'll be like the same music, like and you'll see like a little swirl go. You always used to like those little like extend. They used to play those on the screens. I thought they were very cool. I did indeed like them. Anyway, good evening, guys. Good morning. We have a lot to talk about tonight. We do have a lot to talk about tonight. Right. Owen Jones. Oh, Owen Jones. Owen Jones is going to get his ass handed to him epically. Oh, epically. Thank you, Owen Jones. You're the best. I finished listening to. I remember the thing. I'm trying to remember that I needed to review. Right, I knew there was something. There's actually two things. I got Miracle Man or Marvel Man. What are they calling it? Miracle Man or Marvel Man. Neil Gaiman's. It was book 5, but Neil Gaiman's book 2, which is the Silver Age. That finally, after 20 years, that came out. Was it 30? I don't know. It was in. It was in the late 80s, right? It was supposed to come out, right? It was in 89 or 90, right? It was supposed to come out. So that's what 34 years ago, right? That's a little bit behind, right? But I'll say the TV show Ted. I forgot. I finished watching Ted, all 7 episodes. I can review that, so I'm excited to do that. Great article where CBR. Idiots that they are, say that Star Trek can learn how to handle continuity from Doctor Who. I mean, honestly, looks like the current era of Doctor Who continuity feels like somebody got a fist and shoved it up continuity's ass. Right? It doesn't feel like continuity is too comfortable for anybody there. Right? That is bonkers, McDonald bonkers, and then the gazillion. Stories that I've been meaning to get to for ages, right? Literally gazillion stories that I've been meaning to get to for ages. I have a quick peruse if there's any oh god, I'm looking at this now. They got me having a laugh. Dakota Johnson slams annoying blames the failure of a movie that hadn't come out yet on streaming service execs. Now, don't get me wrong. Well, I'm sure streaming service execs are douchebags, right? I think making shit movies that nobody wants to see might also be part of the problem, right? Might also be part of the problem. So let me give you a bit of a Israel update, right? A bit of an Israel update. So here's a word, like the feeling on the ground that like Hamas are basically done. There's like they're now like they're down to their last stronghold in Rafah, right? And it's like their last 3 battalions apparently. And they're trying to get all the Milumimniks. Now, with Milumimniks, like everything's screwed up, beyond screwed up, right? Milumimniks, that's reservists. That's like any time from the time you leave the army to the age of 40, you could be called up to fight. And a lot of people, like my son's older, are all people like called up to fight, right? You drop everything and you go and defend your country because otherwise you're all going to get killed, right? So they've been using them for a long time. They've been trying to let them all go home, right, and get life back to normal for them. And they're like all been really screwed over because colleges have started without them, which has been shitty. And they're not getting paid. Like they're supposed to be getting paid from the government, or their work is supposed to be being paid by the government. The government, I don't think, has enough money. They haven't been making the payments. People are losing their jobs. It's screwed up. But basically what's really going down is this, that they're trying to give everybody like 2 weeks or a month off before Lebanon starts, right? Assuming we got that long. We got till the weather gets better. But that's really what's going on. That's why they want to wrap up Gaza ASAP. Anyway, in this disinformation war, we have one squeaky piece of shit that is perhaps one of the biggest pieces of shit I've ever come across. I don't think he's pig shit ignorant. I think he's willfully lying to his audience. Oh, no, I don't know, though. Although maybe he is. He's just pig shit ignorant. It could be, right? It could certainly be. Let's see what I got over here. Pull up. Oh, yeah, we've got so much of this shit. Yeah, this is awesome. So let's start off with Owen Jones made a heartfelt video the other day. Oh, as he does with his social conscience, because he's such a good person, Owen Jones. Such a good person. Here we go.
It didn't take long for this particular claim to fall apart.
It takes you about 5 minutes before he gets up to how he says it falls apart. But it did. But it didn't. Look at this. It's so funny.
Now, I realise there are so many horrors that should compete for our attention, our scrutiny, and indeed our fury since 7th of October. But
I mean, mostly you, right? You're one of the biggest horrors I can possibly think of, you anti-Semitic piece of shit. Now, why do I say he's anti-Semitic? Well, because he's sitting here and he has to know he's lying his ass off, right? He has to know. I mean, or maybe he's just that stupid. I mean, look, he looks pretty stupid.
This particular claim itself has potentially genocidal implications.
We're not just doing one genocide. We've got a whole bunch of them now. They come in 6-packs. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because look, I'm going to genocide this cup of coffee right now. Oh, genocide in the coffee. Now I'm going to genocide a bit of water, right? Weirdly enough, Hamas are flying into Israel, raping and murdering men, women, and children, butchering them, cooking them in ovens, like shooting babies. That's not genocide. That's resistance. That's legitimate resistance. After 75 years of occupation. What, you mean those 75 years of Jew hatred where we kept saying, hey, can we live in peace? And the Arabs said, fuck you, Jew. Fuck you. We're not going to live in peace with you, you fucking Jew. Fuck you, Jew. Right? You mean that? Little piece of shit, Owen Jones.
In fact, directly implicating our own governments. I'm referring to Israel's attack on UNRWA. That's the UN agency charged with the welfare of Palestinian refugees.
Because that's all they care about, the welfare of Palestinians. UNRWA, oh yes. Oh, yes. Oh, Owen Jones. Because why we're watching this is because this morning something fucking hilarious happened.
Refugees and the main humanitarian agency in Gaza itself in the midst of what is a grave humanitarian catastrophe. By some weird total coincidence, it just so happened to be convenient timing. On the same day, the International Criminal Court, that is...
On the same day, the International Criminal Court did not order us to cease fire and say we were Israel performing a genocide, but the other said you got to try hard not to perform a genocide, right? Not that you are. They said then you're not performing a genocide. There's no evidence whatsoever that you're performing a genocide. No, literally there isn't. No, we can't. There's a claim, but no evidence whatsoever that you're performing. But you got to avoid performing a genocide. That's what they said. Let's hear it from you, Mr. Jones.
Is the UN court, and indeed the world's highest court, placed Israel on trial for genocide, made it clear there was a plausible case for genocide, and issued a series of legally binding orders on Israel to obey to prevent genocide.
Right, exactly. We mean all the things we were doing anyway, right? I don't know where to start. Yeah, let me backtrack that a little bit. Which one do I grab on?
Suddenly, there was this expose.
No, it's not suddenly. We've been... okay, here's the truth. UNRWA and Hamas are one and the same, right? They have been one and the same for a long, long time, right? A long, long time. Here's some stats for you, okay? None of which he in any way refutes during this video. It's incredible. Like, he absolutely doesn't refute anything. UNRWA in the numbers. 12 plus UNRWA employees participated in the October the 7th Hamas massacre. As in, they literally raped and murdered people for being Jews, right? That happened, right? 1,200 plus UNRWA employees are members of Hamas and Islamic Jihad. 3,000 plus UNRWA teachers were members of a Telegram group that riddled with violent anti-Semitism and glorification of terror. Approximately 6,000 UNRWA employees, half of the organization workforce in Gaza, have close family members who are active in Hamas and Islamic Jihad. So no evidence whatsoever, but we're going to see some more of this evidence that doesn't exist any minute. Oh, Owen, yes, we are.
Israel. Several members of UNRWA staff were directly involved in the 7th of October attacks. They then went on to claim a significant portion of UNRWA staff were Hamas or Islamic Jihad members. Now, from the...
One second. 6,000 UNRWA employees, half of the organization workforce, have close family members who are active in Hamas and Islamic Jihad. Yeah, that's the number, right? That's the number what they're saying. Do you have anything to refute that? Anything at all, Owen? You go first. Go ahead.
Completely absurd, of course. The claim was that around...
It's completely absurd. Could you just give me, just for a skeptic, for devil's advocate, could you perhaps give me anything, you refute it in any way?
0.04% of UNRWA's 30,000 overall workforce.
Oh, wait a minute. So you just agreed they did have people in the October 7th attack. So you just said they did, right? But it's such a small number. Now, how do you think that happened, right? How do you think that happened? That UNRWA had people involved in the October 7th attack, right? How did that happen? Well, this is what it's like. This is what you learn in an UNRWA school, which we've been telling you for years, right? Yeah, UNRWA teacher. The message has been delivered. You have achieved your best. You'll break the nose of the enemy. Revive the hope of the nation. May Allah accept your obedience. May Allah rise you up. Yeah, this is this seems a bit pro-Hamasi to me. What do you think, darling? Do you think there's a bit pro-Hamasi, Owen? This is an isolated incident. Oh no, yeah, this must be isolated. We have to make war to prove that we are stronger than the Jews. Firstly, you're not. And secondly, Owen, is this okay, mate? This looks a bit like racism. And I know you're so anti-racist. Do you think this is racism? What do you think, Owen? You tell me.
إنه إحنا مش شاطرين إحنا aware
I just see legitimate resistance.
كمان في ناس بحبوا فلسطين بدهم
People love Palestine and they're ready to die for Palestine. Well, we all could just not die and live together in peace. All you got to do is not try and kill me because I'm a Jew. Fuck you, Jew. I mean, literally, how many times have I said, can we live together in peace? How about two-state solution? Fuck you, Jew. Fuck you, Jew. Over and over again. Right? Oh, it's like fucking Jews' fault. I mean, look, Owen Jones cannot be ignorant to the fact that UNRWA and Hamas are one and the same. But let's get going a little bit further.
حاربوا وبضحوا بدمهم عشان فلسطين. أنا بدي أهزمهم.
Oh, to fight against them, the Jews, and defeat them in war. Yeah, well, again, why don't we live together? How about that?
الحرب بدي أهزمهم. بيعلمونا إنه الأقصى إلنا.
At school, they teach us the Al-Aqsa and all the Palestiners as that's the Dome on the Rock, which is the thing, which is this is all about.
وإلنا يعني الحق يعني إلنا فلسطين والأراضي كلها إلنا لأنه.
The Jews lie and say that their temple
بسبب كذبهم وانتهاكاتهم إنهم يقولون أن
is under Al-Aqsa Mosque. Well, it is. It's historically accurately.
إنه الهيكل تحت المسجد الأقصى ولا مرة إنه يكون الهيكل.
It was never there. I mean, so again, Owen, let's go back to you, Owen. Let's hear what you guys
on the 7th of October. Now, if you're going to take action against agencies or services in which 0.04% of staff members are implicated in various crimes, then that means taking...
Well, one second. Owen, mate. Owen. I think if you found 0.04% of evil Israeli settlers acting poorly, you would say they're all like that. Because you're a Jew-hating cunt, aren't you? Aren't you a Jew-hating cunt? I bet you are. Who's a Jew-hating cunt? Who's a little Jew-hating cunt? Oh, it's Owen Jones.
Action against every single agency or service on the face of the earth. So what happened next? 14 governments, led by the United States and including Britain, suddenly cancelled their funding for UNRWA. Not just UNRWA in Gaza, because UNRWA also works in the West Bank, Jordan, Syria, and Lebanon. In total...
So wait. I think at this point, I think it's fair that we bring in this little bit of snippet, right? Something that you maybe should be aware of came out today.
אז אנחנו נכנסים עכשיו
So they're entering a big tunnel to the technological. You're going to see a major Hamas base underneath UNRWA.
מנהרה הגדולה הזאת, המנהרה הטכנולוגית. חלק מהתשתית שנשארה כאן, השרתים, ה-DVRים.
אנחנו כרגע נמצאים בליבת הסוד, לשמה הגענו.
We are under the central building of UNRWA, right? And they didn't know about it.
תחת הבניין המרכזי של אונר"א. כאן נמצאים השרתים.
These are Hamas intelligence servers.
מודיעינים של החמאס.
Hamas is fucked beyond the fuck, mate. Totally fucked.
אנחנו נמצאים עכשיו במטה הראשי.
Friends, now we're at the headquarters of, and I can understand the Hebrew. He is actually saying this of UNRWA. He hasn't said UNRWA yet.
של יו"ר אונר"א. מכאן הכל התנהל, יש פה את כל המשרדים.
Everything is managed here, all the UN agencies.
של כל סוכנויות האו"ם שאמורות לתת סיוע הומניטרי.
We can see the cables here.
יכולים לראות פה את כל הכבלים שהיו מחוברים פה לארון תקשורת, שהוציאו אותה החוצה. מי מנתק דבר כזה? רק מי שיש לו מה להסתיר. ויש פה כבלים שאתם יכולים לראות שיורדים כלפי מה.
And you can see they go down to the tunnel system, right?
בתוך התת-קרקע, מנותקים, לא השאירו פה שום דבר מחובר כמעט שאפשר, כל מה שהם הספיקו לחטוף.
Okay, and we're trying to say that UNRWA and Hamas are go back to you, Owen. Let's hear a bit more from you.
$440 million worth of funding suddenly gone, strangling this crucial agency.
Why are you okay with this agency being usurped by Hamas? By Jew? Because you don't like Jews, isn't it? That's why.
Now, politically speaking, this sudden expose achieved three important things. First of all, it took the ICJ ruling, in which Israel was placed on trial for genocide, off the headlines.
Well, no. Actually, the ICJ took it off the headlines by saying, "Oh, you guys totally not doing genocide. That's not happening. You've got to be super careful not to do genocide. And here, don't do genocidal things." And we're like, "No problem," because here's the thing. Little cunts like Owen Jones. No, I'm sure he must know this. That like before any military action is taken, including getting permission to open fire, it has to go through a team of bloody lawyers. Everything goes through a team of lawyers. And so we can prove up, backwards and forwards, who shot which bullet.
Secondly, it meant it was now the United Nations in the dock, rather than the United Nations putting...
I wonder why. I wonder fucking why. It is the United Nations in the dock because they're in bed with Hamas, right? They are completely in bed with Hamas. Again, let's just look at them lying their asses off about that, right? I think that we should do that. Doink.
Concerns with regards to the number of trucks that are going in to Gaza. And on Saturday, the IDF said that it found dozens of rockets hidden under boxes marked with UNRWA's insignia. And
this was from a couple of weeks ago. It's got crazy since then.
Northern Gaza. Another issue I'd like to raise with you is an Israeli reporter over the weekend from Channel 13 cited one of the abductees who had returned back to Israel and said that he was held by an UNRWA teacher.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It's not an allegation. It's witness testimony, baby.
A father of 10, this teacher locked the victim away, barely provided food, and neglected medical needs. UNRWA responded to this post and said, quote, making serious allegations in the public domain unsupported by any evidence or verifiable facts and support thereof may amount to misinformation. That reporter then responded and said, that's not an allegation, that's survivor's testimony. How is UNRWA investigating or responding to...
Yeah, let's get some answers from you, cunt. Let's hear from you.
These two quite damning allegations.
So what I can speak to is our aid. Essentially, the aid that UNRWA is bringing in goes directly into the hands of the refugee. So on any given day...
Oh, wait. Let me get this straight. You didn't know there was an UNRWA base underneath your central building. And I'm supposed to have in any way, any confidence that you could in any way, shape or form manage giving aid without supporting Hamas, right? UNRWA has head said it was in the dark about Hamas center under Gaza HQ, Israel. You knew, right? You knew. I mean, these pictures are so damning, right? So you see how far down they got to tunnel down to find the bloody door, get to the doors. Right, this is on Twitter now. It's basically just showing where the tunnels are, how they find them, how they get from each one. No, we didn't know anything about it. Honest, mate, not a thing. UNRWA did not know what is under the headquarters. Then you schmucks, Philip Lazzarini. UNRWA is made aware of reports through media regarding tunnels under UNRWA headquarters in Gaza. Excuse me. Oh, you knew, says Chijo. Digging tunnels takes longer than 4 months. We invited senior UN officials to see. And during the past meetings, with you and other UN officials, we say that Hamas have used their UNRWA headquarters. You chose to ignore the facts so you could later try and deny them. Fuck me. But no, Owen, let's hear some more outrage, Owen.
In the dock, which is what the actual literal story was about. And third of all, it meant Israel could prosecute its long-standing vendetta against UNRWA with renewed vigour. We'll go on to that. So what's the actual evidence for what Israel had said? Now, it is worth just...
I'll show you some more there, Owen.
أنا أقرأ اليهود إن الصهيونية هم أعدائنا وهم أهم شيء لازم يسوي فيهم عملية. يعني
how's that count?
The US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said, and I quote, "We haven't had the ability to investigate the allegations ourselves, but they are highly, highly credible." What do you even say to that? What do you even say? That's the same guy.
Okay, darling, you're the same person who believes everything Hamas says without question, right? Including, oh yeah, UNRWA teachers did rape and murder babies. They 100% did that. Supported broadly by more UNRWA teachers, right? That absolutely they kidnapped people and they held them captive. That happened. I admit that happened. So what of it? They're only fucking Jews, right? They're only Jews.
Who declared that South Africa's case at the ICJ, meticulously evidenced by top lawyers, and then accepted near.
And it's an international joke. It's a legal joke that oily little anti-Semites cling on to. You piece of shit. Yeah, and again, are you a moron? Are you a piece of shit? Are you both? I don't know. But God, look, again, I hope a Messianic age is coming so I can see you be dragged down to the ninth circle of hell. Right? Yes.
Unanimously is plausible by the highest court on earth, including it should be
plausible. What the fuck does that mean? It's plausible you're not a cunt, but you are.
He said a very preeminent US judge was, and I quote, meritless. That's what he said about it. And he said Israel's allegations were highly, highly credible, even though he'd admitted that the US hasn't even seen the evidence. Last remaining superpower there, everyone. That brings me to a report by Channel 4 News.
Okay, so again, what do you have to refute this evidence? Right? What do you have to refute? You know what? Yeah, we were just looking at kids. Let's look at somebody else, right? I mean, because, you know, it's an open and shut case for you, isn't it? Here we go. Doink.
In Palestinian textbooks. This is what Palestinian kids learn in school. And I encourage you to stay to the end.
In the UN UNRWA school, right? They absolutely do. Yes, they learn this in the UN school.
For a nice plot twist. First grade, learning math by counting martyrs in each intifada. Third grade, how Jerusalem is not sacred to Jews. Fifth grade, learning how Jews are enemies of Islam in all times and places, while terrorists and Nazi supporters are glorified. The list of Palestinian heroes includes no scientists, no doctors, no engineers, they proudly say to their kids. Dying is better than living. Sixth grade, how the Palestinians...
Again, Owen, darling, Owen. How did you miss this, Mr. Journalist? Mr. Independent Journalist? How did you miss... Oh, all right. It seems like you're a bigoted anti-Semite cunt. That's what it looks like.
State goes from the river to the sea. Seventh grade, let's learn about Newton's second law using a slingshot aimed at IDF soldiers. Eighth grade, learning proper Arabic.
None of this is made up. By the way, he says you're actually showing you on the screen.
Using reading materials about suicide bombings and how the youth should conduct jihad. Ninth grade, learning how the Hebron massacre, in which 67 Jews were tortured and killed, was a natural, legitimate resistance act, even though it was conducted 20 years before the State of Israel was formed. Also,
you know, those Arabs, they like to get ahead of things.
How killing infidels like Jews or Christians will lead you to paradise. 10th grade, learning how jihad is an obligation for every Muslim. 11th graders learn...
But sure, the idea that the Jew-hating Hamas can find any kind of home in UNRWA, that's cray-cray. Oh, yeah.
How Jews control the world using Nazi-like illustrations. And finally, 12th graders are taught that the highest point one can aspire to is dying for a religious duty. Listen, there is much more. There are hundreds of examples, but I think you got the idea. But don't listen...
Yeah, Owen, hundreds of examples. Hundreds, mate, hundreds.
Listen to me, listen to an actual student.
And one
last thing before you go. All the things I showed you were written by UNRWA employees.
Okay, UNRWA employees, right? The people who didn't know, they had a Hamas base under their main building. So tell me more, Owen. Tell me more. Send me some more of your outrage, you cunt.
In Israel's dossier. Let's just have a listen.
Children in Gaza.
Oh yeah, I love this. He uses this bit from Channel 4 News to back up his point, which doesn't back up his point. All it does is say, "Oh look at the evil Jews hurting the poor children." By the way, when I keep hitting, we'll get to that in a second. Man, actually, you know what? This is actually worth looking at right now. there was with this open immigration, right? This open border immigration that's affecting most of the world. You had like a complete breakdown of law. So you had this New York cop beaten severely by a gang of people. One or more of them turned out to be a child, and so they keep throwing out things saying that 11,000 children have been murdered by the Israelis, right? And it's like, well, firstly, that's the mass figures. They said 500 babies died when 0. So I don't know if that's your ratio. I'm not sure. But secondly, are we talking about 6-year-olds with dollies or 17-year-old with Kalashnikovs? I say that because here's the one of the people who beat the shit out of our New York cop in broad daylight, being arrested, and doesn't look like he's liking it.
Another one? I just put my report. Go ahead. You know what I mean?
And honestly, it's sad that he's had no strong parental care. Right? That his life, that he got to this point in life. His life is probably going to be like trash. Well, the children! Oh no, the children! He only beat a cop near to death? What's wrong with you? You're white. It's okay. I'm nearly white, so therefore everything I do is good. Yeah. Anyway, so this Channel 4 news. Oh, the Israelis.
Fear is that they're about to get hungrier. Donors to UNRWA.
We're scared that the Jews are going to hurt more children. We are.
Main UN agency that supports Palestinians.
They support mainly ones with Kalashnikovs aimed at Jews, but those ones,
including the UK, withdrew their funding 10 days ago because of allegations in a confidential Israeli document that this program has now seen. The document repeats an allegation the Israel Defense Force has made many.
Well, okay, so far I'm seeing, unless that's redacted, you're seeing the ID numbers, right, of the people involved. That's pretty conclusive evidence. Once you put their ID number in, and like next to that, we found this with the body that of somebody we shot who was with the rapists and murderers of Hamas, right? We think they're with them.
Times that the Hamas terrorist organization has been methodically and deliberately placing its terrorist infrastructure in a wide range of UN facilities and assets.
You had your main base was underneath their main office. So kind of looked like that happened.
But provides no evidence to support its explosive new claim that UNRWA staff were involved in the terror attacks on.
Well, we had one of them as a kidnapper, survivor testimony, as we said before, and again, a terror base, a cocksucking terror base right underneath the UNRWA bloody main office, you dumb fucking cunt. I mean, there is that. I don't know. I mean, look. UNRWA, Hamas. I mean, there's no evidence.
Just stating, from intelligence information, documents and identity cards seized during the course of the fighting.
The document cards seized during the course of the fighting, that's 100%.
It is now possible to flag around 190 Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad terrorist operatives who serve as UNRWA employees. More than 10 UNRWA staffers took part in the events of the 7th of October.
So there you go. No evidence.
No evidence. It's just the Jews saying it with evidence, but no evidence. Oh, Owen Jones, mate. Literally. Again, can I find this picture of the UNRWA base? Like, it literally said, is this it? No. Oh, man. It's crazy. Right? It is crazy. Again, and, let's just bring this home a little bit more. Here, more testimony. Is that good for you, Owen? You tell me, darling.
לאום לימד אותך לרצוח יהודים. ואחרי תקופה בא
Teacher came in with a suit,
המורה עם חליפה ועניבה
tie on.
ונראה מתוקתק.
He looked respectable.
והתחיל ככה שיהודים רוצחים ילדים.
He started saying that the Jews, that's never as good. When your teacher comes in and starts saying the Jews, yeah, that's not a class you should be in.
נשים, גברים,
Are murderers.
זקנים, שיהודים לקחו את האדמה של
They took it, was it? I just missed out a bunch of stuff. The Jews took
הסבא שלכם.
your grandparents' land.
וחייבים
Kill them and return
להרוג
all
אותם עד טיפת אחרונה ולהחזיר
the land back.
כל האדמה. מי שרוצח יהודי הוא
Whoever murders a Jew is guaranteed to
מובטח לו גן עדן. הכי
go to heaven.
קרוב לעולם, כאילו הוא נביא.
He is as close to God like a prophet. This is what UNRWA teaches, Owen Jones, right? This is what UNRWA teaches. Again, no evidence whatsoever. None. No evidence whatsoever. Really? I think this is, my case has been recently that anyone in the media says there's no evidence for that at all. Means there is an overwhelming preponderance of evidence, right? There's no overwhelming preponderance of evidence. And Owen, I just tell you, mate, I know you don't like you. Okay, in your idiot mind, whoever is being attacked is always a virtuous victim, right? So Jews, anti-Semitism is the major form of racism in the West now because of cunts like you, Owen Jones, right? It really is. But don't think of us as victims, you piece of shit, right? But the victim is your entire society. Anyway, it's Super Sunday today, and I end off this segment because I saw a Super Bowl ad that coming out, which I thought was incredibly powerful, right? But here, let's go check this out.
Hi, Mr. Tony. Mom, what's that?
Nothing. Just get in the car. Let's go.
Who did that?
Come on. Right now.
John Delancey. I hope it's John Delancey. I like John Delancey.
Now, in. Get in. Right now. Let's go.
Did you paint it or something?
Move it. Seatbelt on. Right now. Put your seatbelt on.
This is a really well put together ad, right? Really well put together ad. One in 4 Jewish Americans are victims of a hate crime last year. Yeah, we just don't bitch about it like most people. I know, like when we do, you want to listen. Really powerful ad. Hate only wins if you let it. And the good news is this: that I think we live in strange times, right? We live in strange times where we have a strange alliance of people together that would never have been together before. Jews and Christians, for example, right? We are really like I empathize so strongly on so many issues with Father Miller, for example, right? And always so uplifted just by talking to him. I do like Father Miller a lot, right? But like Christians, Jews and Christians. Not been the best of pals, right? Not been the best of pals. But now, it's we're backed in the same corner. I think anybody of any real moral character is backed into the same corner, right? And that's why I think it transcends everything. That transcends religion, it transcends worldview, it transcends sexuality, it transcends the ethnic culture, whatever. It transcends everything. If you're a decent moral person, you're on one side of the aisle, and if you're not, you're on the other. And I think that's one of the things that the Gaza has really shown, and soon Lebanon, right? That's going to be like, again, it's kicking off, baby. That's something that's really, really, I think, shown the character of who everybody is really quite instantly. It's been amazing. You've had a lot of people, I think, somewhere on the fence, and I think that's fair enough. I mean, you got me screaming on one side and the Arab screaming the other. You know, I look, if you don't have any skin in the game, I don't like have any beef with you for not necessarily believing everything Israel's saying. That seems reasonable to me. I do, because it's like look. If I was an outside, if I came to you from outside, which I am doing, saying everything the opposing side is saying is a lie, it sounds not credible whatsoever. But I just happen to know that's the case, weirdly enough. But and really everything they say is a lie. It's mind-boggling. But that's exactly what they say about us as well. But I think this has been a really incredible litmus test. And you know, and everybody says, oh, everybody exposed themselves for who they are. Yeah, both sides of the aisle saying that. So yeah, the good thing is we have things like this, which I think this is very. I think the reason why this is such a powerful ad, and it is a very powerful ad. The reason it's so powerful is because it's very true, and the truth is that Western civilization, England and America, are both just incredibly good, decent places. Like, with incredibly good, decent people. You know, I saw this same woman was on Talk TV and 2 different shows today, being like a BLM spokesperson, and just the most vile person you can imagine, basically claiming that the countryside is racist. And you had somebody from this like little Welsh village on say, "What are you talking about? We got like Pakistani, Indian live and work with us. They're part of our community. We love them." Right, we don't care about their skin color, right? And she just talked over it. She was just a really vile person, right? But this ad, I think, really is indicative of the inherent goodness throughout Western civilization, right? And again, I think it's a goodness that transcends every cultural barrier that you could imagine. Again, you could be Christian, Muslim, Jewish, atheist, agnostic, none of that matters, which is the real fascinating thing. Yeah, this could be, and I had an idea it was a while ago, like we could be living through the war of Gog versus Magog, right? Which I always thought the thing about that war is that the two sides were indistinguishable. Now, why would the two sides be indistinguishable? Gog, Magog, why would they be indistinguishable? Because they're the same side. It's a civil war, right? And yeah, that's where I think we could well be, right? We could well be. But you know what? There's no better place to be than Dan Stevens being interviewed. Remember Dan Stevens from Downton Abbey and then Legion? Man, I like Dan Stevens. Basically, everything he's in is good. I haven't seen him in anything for ages. But this is him being interviewed after getting the role, coming out of Downton Abbey, going into Legion. Right, probably one of the greatest video clips of all time. Right, gird yourself.
This is you as an all-American, and a big opportunity for you in Hollywood. You must have had to beat off a lot of American men to get this part.
His response is the only sane one.
Why does that make you giggle? Did you not have to beat them off?
It just gets better, darling.
You had to get the role. Imagine there was quite a few men up for the role as well.
And you had to beat them off. I would have just said, Susanna, darling, you know that's a euphemism for masturbate, right? Beating off. I got to watch that again. It's too wonderful.
It's you as an all-American, and a big opportunity for you in Hollywood. You must have had to beat off a lot of American men to get this part. Why does that make you giggle? Did you not have to beat them off?
To get the role, imagine there was quite a few men up for the role as well.
I've heard of Dan Stevens for ages. Let's have a look what he's been doing, and then we'll get to the chat. Okay, this admittedly is a a tangent, right? This I don't think I could possibly say no tangent going on here, darling. This is a tangent. Don't share screen. It's like really, I haven't heard of him for ages, and he was like in everything, and then COVID happened and he vanished. He didn't die during COVID, did he? No, that'd be weird. There we go. Dan Stevens. Downton Abbey. Man, long time ago now. Known for. So the last thing I remember him being in was, I can't remember now. The Apostle, I remember that, and Legion. Lucy in the Sky, I kind of remember that was on Netflix, I think. Right, this is when it was in everything, right? And now I haven't heard any of these things. Blythe Spirit and 2020. Here we go. I guess, right, because he was a good-looking white man. That's in the exact worst time it is to be a good-looking. Look at that, he's vanished. Solar Opposites. Okay, so he's doing voiceover game. He's doing voice work. It was in one episode of Welcome to Chippendales. Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet Curiosities, which is, it was okay. I can't believe he's not busier. I'm amazed, right? I'm really amazed. Wow. And so Blythe Spirit was the last big thing he was in, I guess. Oh, there he is. Yeah. So that looks like the last big thing he was in. Dan Stevens, Leslie Mann, Isla Fisher, and Judi Dench. Well, I guess it's only even 4. Maybe he's taking some time off. I don't know. I like Dan. What was that movie that it was? Not Dust. Lucy in the Sky. That actually looked good, and then it looked awful at the same time. It was by Noah Hawley. I like Noah Hawley. Astronaut Lucy Kohler returns to Earth after a transcendental experience. Transcendent experience during a mission to space and begins to lose touch with the reality in the world. So I think it got bad reviews and I was pissed off. It was The Age of Woke. Man, they got a good cast. John Howe. I'll check it out. I think it was on Netflix, right? I think I'll find it. I'll check it out. Fine. Let's get to the chat. Fine. We'll pull up from the eye candy. Oh, man, I forgot how good this thumbnail was. Freaking awesome, if I may say so myself. Sexy Perry Elmo. Oh, man, you don't get that often. Elmo, you don't think this costume will make Wil Wheaton angry, do you? Yeah, oh, yes, that'll be fucking hilarious. Yes, it will. Now, coming up with the Elmo Perry was not easy. A lot of work went into it, and a lot of weird things came out. By the way, somebody was. I saw somebody did. Oh, wrong over here. Somebody did a Blake 7 breakfast cereal in a AI engine. That was Bizarroville. I should try and pull that up. So actually, you know that. So this was my first attempt at Perry. Here, who was that? Hang on. I'll just do x.com. We'll try. Do I do a search of Blake 7 breakfast cereal? Blake, because then I saw people did a bunch of them. 7 different TV show breakfast cereal. Doing. Oh, who's messaging me? I'm just getting news that apparently season 5 is after season 15. Season 25, I should say. It is after season 15. Oh, man, I can't find this thing. Such a shame. This is how I really should have... just remember the account I saw it on. Because it was really cool. Could be this account. So hard not to say things out aloud. Oh, man. Well, I found the E.T. breakfast cereal. Oh, here it is. Look at that. Hang on. I'm sure you're not complaining with Elmo Perry being on screen for an extended period of time. Who would be concerned about that? But isn't there more ones on this? Colt Edge. There we go. Fine. I'm just going to look at the. This is so bizarre. Okay, Perry, we'll be back for you in a minute, right? We're looking more AI stuff. Bored. I entered Blake 7 cereal box. It's so weird. Okay, and there's the, are you being served? It's because it works because AI is never really like the thing that you're they got the Federation Command bang on. Doctor Who circle serial. Robocop O's. No, that is that AI? I don't know. So Space 1999 breakfast cereal. Yeah, because they never did it right. Right? They never did it right. Oh, perfect. Oh, I want this. Carry on breakfast. I would actually go back and face swap into like Mad Death. Thing cereal. Is this it? And it's all based on. What was this? Where'd it go? Oh man, I remember that that eagle. Oh, that was great. Where'd it go? Looking for the C-3PO breakfast cereal. Was it above this? No, I can't find it. Never mind. But I think again that's truly brilliant. Truly brilliant. Fine. Let's get. I haven't even got to the chat. I haven't even started the chat. Man. Elmer Perry would not be happy with me. Yeah, another one. Like again, they came out reasonably well. And very bizarrely demonic as well. Right? This is kind of like a furry masturbatory fantasy, right? And you know what? Yeah, I like to look after people who don't necessarily say my taste and proclivities. All right, we have this one. That one I nearly went with. Right, that was a good one. Yeah, okay, I can go for that. This is the one I nearly went with the most. Right, and tip of his chest, I think it'll make people too crazy. Right, so ended up going with this one. Yes, and it will be fucking hilarious. Fine. An hour and 3 minutes in, I get to the chat. Darren M, how you doing, Darren M? Thank you for joining us. Jonathan Cox, thank you for joining us, sir. Soda Rangers here, yes, they're stopping the mini stories for the Eki classic Blu-rays. Maybe they can get me back to remote the first stunning and brave Eki Gay Dr. Eki Thumb. Maybe. I failed to create a mini Jody reaction prayer. Okay, well, you know, you can only do your best, mate. JWC Reviews is here. How you doing, JWC Reviews? And we have Catherine is probably breathing down Russell T Davis' neck to become president of Doctor Who. Well, probably. I don't know. I would love to know how she has so much insane power, right? Wouldn't that be interesting? Not speculate, but actually know. PD Rich is there, PD Rich. Paul doesn't know. You have to be some kind of dumb to think Disney are putting money into something they have no say in. And again, I think the reason they like Doctor Who, they snapped up, is because Disney and BBC and Rusty Davis all have one thought system, right? They all think the same thing. Nameless Entity is here. How you doing? Afternoon all. Yay, who has always been rife with commies, but the classics didn't beat us over the head with it, and knew how to entertain. Yes, exactly. And also Persuaded, right? I think it did a lot more to Persuade. That's the happiness roll is the one classic zero I can fault for being too low effort. I love Happiness Patrol. Oh, shit Doctor Who that you love. But I don't think it's shit Doctor Who. I know. I got to get that together. Oh, I really got to get that together. The Greatest Show in the Galaxy was great by comparison. Well, I agree with you there, but I love Happiness Patrol. Right? No More. Oh, No More's pretty good. Yeah, that's a good scene. Progressivism comes from the word progress, and as the 14th Doctor once said, says Mr. Jekyll and Hyde, progress is a very flexible word. You could use it to mean almost anything you want it to mean. Yeah, man, that's why we like the 4th Doctor, right? It really is. I'm a time loss, which 10th Doctor, Peter Rich says, I think you're right? Hello, I'm the Doctor. Basically runs, says Scott Archer. Yes, okay, these are all good ways. Reverse the polarity of the neutron flow. Yes. My brain edited out every Doctor after 7. Well, you know, Mr. Jekyll and Hyde, you cling close to that brain. It is looking after you well, right? I mean, Miss Lane, where's the opening rant? It was I was there. That was just starting. No, the opening rant went long. Ilan Artin, is it? Race Christus stormed off GB News. Yeah, that's the one. God, she's annoying. Ethan Buckholder is here. How are you doing there? Go cry over the stove. Fine. So that went up to you, Owen Jones. I got a question for you, Owen. If someone deliberately pokes a hornet's nest and a lot of people are attacked by hungry hornets, whose fault the injuries? The Jews! Okay, the Jews! That's how this works, Colin. It's the Jews! Yes. What are we up to? David Mullen is it. Owen Jones is an example of a radical living on an airtight bubble. No counterpoints can get in. No moderating. I mean, he doesn't even know how deluded he is. Right? Okay. I've been told how to say this name many times over. Right? Zebra Holden Zay Tatus. How does the world umbrella Palestinians and Muslims from killing Jews? Well, I think you probably need a messianic age to it. A pathway to that, I've been saying since it started, would be well, firstly, everyone's got to act well. Everyone's got to act their best, right? So they got to, I would get like Arab nations to invest in rebuilding Gaza to be just gorgeous, right? Just this incredible paradise, right? At the same time, have a Muslim security force there, not local, not Gazan, can't trust you right now, sorry. But have a Muslim security force, police force. At the same time, take control of their media and their education and pump that they've been lied to all these years. And if we could just all be friends, their lives can be better, right? But I think it's like a 20-year process. But given, like, you know, again, we have, you can't say chicks with dicks aren't real chicks. That we see the power of social media and conditioning. That I think it's a doable job. They managed to do that in 5 years, right? They're not caught. They've been caught with their hands in the cookie jar. They caught Big literally in the cookie jar, right? I mean, like, it's really bad. It's really bad. Whizzing through the chat, trying to catch up. X-Men 577 here. Thank you, X-Men 577, for joining us. Boy, you brainwash your kids at a young age. Well, that's the best time to brainwash them, right? That is the best. Although, I mean, listen, again, it's not really the same, but I do feel there's a difference in instilling values and brainwashing your kids, right? You know, like, I don't mind you instilling religious values in your kids, but that religious value shouldn't be kill the heretics, right? That's the rabbi and family's gone then from their occupied home. Yeah, all of us. Catch you later, mate. And again, why can't we all just live here no matter if it's a Palestinian state or a Jewish state? I like, duh. Fine. Where are we up to? Fine. I'm whizzing through the chat now. Most of the people in the UK are generally good. They're just massively pissed off at the moment. Yeah, because everything sucks. Man, everything sucks. Take me Strawbridge is here. Take me Strawbridge. Thank you for joining us. Susanna reads it's fantastically done. She really is. That's one of the greatest sequences of all time. Dr. Alex is here. How you doing, Dr. Alex? Thank you for joining us. Man, I nearly got back to work on doing the what's it called again? I got one and a half chapters to go on millennial rights before that's done, and I just really stalled it. Although my AI voice thing renews in 4 days, so I'll probably get it done in the next few days. They got a new feature now that you can put a full text in. So the trouble with millennial rights, right, which is a official book, is I could only find like a Moody, an illegal PDF of that to download. And so there's lots of letters, words were wrong. I had to change the spelling on a lot of things. It was a real pain, right? But I think when I finally get my ass to do my own original fiction, that should work better, right? That should work better because like I'll just be able to put the whole thing into the AI engine, and lo and behold, it should work. But anyway, something I've been thinking about doing, and I probably will be doing, right, is where is it? Hang on, now I've lost my place. Something I will be doing is I've really been saving some of the best AI girly calendars thing, and I think I'm going to put out a calendar on my Substack to the where is it? Let me pull it up to people who get my paid Substack layer who work, and we got quite a few good images built up so far, and this is only after 1 month. So let's say we'll just do a quick review. Man, okay, good. There we go. Where is it? Indiana Perry. Phoebe Waller-Who. This was from Saturday's show. Fantastic Joe Grant. By the way, very disappointed. I watched Cunning Monkey's Matrix edit of Terror of the Autons. And I was really excited by it, right? I like Cunning Monkey's work a lot. I went to his website. I was going to contact him. And then I said, maybe have a quick look at his Instagram first, or his social media and Instagram. And there was a lot of like trans rights and human rights. So he probably thinks I'm pure evil incarnate. But I was going to invite him on the show. But I like his work though. But generally speaking, I find people with his point of view are completely freaking insane now, right? So yeah, we got Joe Grant. We have. Turns out toxic feminism and openly hating Alden doesn't pay so well. Turns out, incredible, right? Isn't that incredible? We got. I don't know about you, but I feel a bit of Ponfar coming on. Most logical. Mrs. Pill, we're needed. Back to the Hellfire Club, I guess. I say, will you have a dick in this 2024 reboot? It's very popular in Doctor Who now. Yes, it is. And of course, my favorite one is Doctor, are you sure the Rootons have infiltrated the 19th century Parisian brothel and we have to go undercover? Well, hopefully not under too much cover, surely. Indeed, Tom, indeed. Fine. So yeah, they're the beginnings of a calendar we got going on. Mark Milford is here. Dan Stevens, Doctor Who. Dan Stevens will be a freaking good Doctor Who. Right, I'll be a really good Doctor Who. He played a Russian Eurovision Fire Saga. Oh, that sounds interesting. I will check that out. I think that he's handsome, stiff, white blokes are casual to the DI. I know it's tragic because he was really. I mean, again, him and what's his name? I love that actress. Dan Stevens. It was in. Hang on, he was in Legion, right? But what's the name of the woman in Legion? Here, I'm looking up right now. Legion cast is Aubrey Plaza. Man, is she great! I love Aubrey Plaza. Don Harris says, "Do we have an exact date for the next Rossley Davis? Who? No, we don't. Right? Can I believe that they will pass up May the 4th? They probably would. Yeah, they probably wouldn't touch that. But I think it's May, isn't it? I I think it's May. I think this is why kink should not be confused with one's identity. Well, yeah, exactly. Although my identity is lusting after Nicola Bryant. That's basically defined who I am now, right? Check out this image of Perry in the Elmo costume I painted. What's that? Rabbi says kink should be for the bedroom. It also says check out the... See, to me, this isn't kink because it doesn't do it for me. It's like I listen. I like Perry in not many clothes at all. Right? That's my Perry preference. Yeah, I get. I mean, if that turns you on, I guess. whatever it does it to you. Those Perry melons must be weighty. I would help support her. Because that's just me. I am a charitable man. Timmy, sorry, you never seen the Mary Tam one before? Oh, that was awesome. Well, let's have another quick look at Mary Tam. And Lala all together. I'm sorry. That's a great combo, right? That is a great combo. I'd love to go to the Doctor Who convention with that on a t-shirt. That'd be hilarious. Oh, that would be redonkulous, right? Redonkulous how hilarious it is. Fine. What should we do first? Let's do this article first. We'll start with a bit of Doctor Who. Doctor Who, the TARDIS. Doctor Who. He's still in jail, isn't he? Gary clearly couldn't get parole. Okay. Does Doctor Who have the perfect answer to Star Trek's continuity problem? Why would you ask somebody who's fucked up their continuity as much as Doctor Who has to help with their continuity problem? What? I don't even know what the premise is of this insane idea. But tell me more. Tell me more, darling. Tell me more. Star Trek Doctor Who are two universes with 6 years of history behind them, and the BBC series Mayhem they asked the Paramount's canon problems. Well, look, JJ stuff isn't canon, I think is the answer, right? Or different canon? I don't know. I mean, again, this is exactly the trouble that DC and Marvel Comics got into in the 80s. It was just like, you're going to have so much continuity before it gets messed up. Any storytelling, any storytelling universe that survives 6 decades doesn't really have many problems. However, well, yeah, it does. One thing that can be troubling for fans is keeping every storyline straight. In the 1960s, both Doctor Who and Star Trek were new, and there was little concern for canon because the producers were just worried about keeping the show on air, or actually putting a good show out. Still, canon works as a useful guideline for writers and directors in respective series to keep things consistent. Given the ongoing nature of the many storytelling universes, it makes sense for fans to take canon seriously. While Star Trek is more rigid, no, it's not. What have you seen? Discovery or Strange New Worlds or Picard? What? Or Lower Decks? What? While Star Trek is more rigid with its rules, Doctor Who takes a looser timey-wimey approach. No, it was actually the exact opposite until Whittaker showed her idiot face up. It was exactly like, okay, we all saw Discovery went, oh, it's a different timeline. It's different. It's like they had the Garden Forever. No problem. Ironically, the third wave of Star Trek TV shows, most notably the prequels, Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Strange New Worlds, have been loosening the rules a bit with the well, again, they're not the same universe. You have, what was it? Transporter Chief Kyle is a very blonde Irishman in the 1960s series, and in Strange New Worlds, he's been hit by a trans Asian ray, right? And he's like a little Asian guy now. Like, what the hell? Like, why? I don't know why. The ship's totally different. They're like, oh yeah, let's downgrade the look of the ship to make it look less cool because of reasons. I mean, what? It's in a different fucking universe, you moron. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, in the first season especially, was a riff on Star Trek. Was an interesting riff on Star Trek, I would say. But it wasn't Star Trek. Given the ongoing nature of storytelling, it makes sense, blah, blah, blah. Fine. Ironically, fine, we're up to there. Having loosened the rules a bit. Classic franchises like characters like Spock and Captain Kirk, while these deviations have seemed to contradict the original canon, what, you mean making Spock into an autistic Sheldon clone from Big Bang Theory, which is shit. Yeah, while these evidence seems to be contradict the original series canon, Star Trek continues into its third wave. It should look to its fellow sexagenarian series to navigate the established canon while continuing to grow the universe. More specifically, Star Trek could benefit to use the time travel and other specific storytelling principles to give further storytelling freedom, storytellers the freedom to tell new stories. Okay, here's the thing. You don't need, if you need to give a storyteller more freedom to tell a story, they're not a storyteller, right? The most important thing with being a storyteller, other than know how to tell a fucking story, right, is to be able to think and innovate, right? And innovate ways to tell your stories within established law. Now, how both Doctor Who and Star Trek developed canon. It was on TV and we watched it. That's how. During the production of Star Trek, the original series, Dorothy Thanos served as story editor, and she, along with other staff writers, assembled a loose Bible that established the canon of the show. Well, that's not possible in Doctor Who. That wasn't for the fans, however, but it was the freelance writers who would contribute scripts and pitches. Later, Gene Roddenberry hired fan Richard Arnold as an official archivist for Star Trek, and he helped establish the canon, along with the second wave artists, designers Michael and Denise Okunda. Right, the Okunda really did define a lot of what Star Trek was. They went on to publish the Star Trek Encyclopedia, which helped canonize their work in a very accessible way to all the fans. I see what you're saying, because it's like the BBC, the Doctor Who canon has been less officially published. Right, and it's also contradicted itself in certain directions. It's what you're saying that the Star Trek canon is more. I don't think so. I wouldn't say the encyclopedia is current canon. Again, I think they got to a point where they're doing riffs on Star Trek, right, rather than actually doing Star Trek. Meanwhile, across the BBC never established the Doctor Who canon. This allowed each new showrunner the most. Again, Star Trek was running for 3 years. And then stopped for 20, right? Something like that. Renewal became regeneration, and eventually the 30th regeneration limit was established. They should have kept that. The Doctor eventually became a Time Lord in the 1969 serial, The War Games, 3 years after the show debuted. There was many inconsistencies in the classic show. Not many. I won't say many. I disagree with you. Which allows stories to pick and choose which elements they wanted. And again, no, there wasn't many inconsistencies. There was unit dating from Mordred Undead, and that really was it. Right, that really was it. Once Russell T. Davies brought the series back, Doctor Who was made and more concentrated to keep the canon consistent, though not stagnant. I hear that, but I think in this new age of Doctor Who, it needs to reboot. Right, it needs to be, if it wants to be its own thing. It should be its own thing, and I think the desperate clinging on to the past is to validate their take on Doctor Who more than anything else. And I think they should just have confidence in it, run with it. I think that's why it's such a stupid idea, keeping David Tennant's Doctor alive and around with the TARDIS. It's just dumb. Oh, so many dumb ideas. Classic Doctor Who often deployed alternate timelines. No, what? Twice. You're talking about Inferno and Battlefield, right? Literally, that was it, I think. Which Star Trek already used for a feature film reboot. Well, again, wasn't really a reboot. When it was you had the Romulan ship go back in time and create a new timeline. But it wasn't like a reboot. It was like very closely tied to the Next Generation timeline. Used to create a branch in the timeline which everything fans knew about the character in the universe was upended? Not really. This was a bold move, but proved to be a stumbling block for some fans worried about it. It erased the old shows and the films they'd grown up loving. Again, no, I don't think it did that. I really don't. I don't think the Kelvin timeline erased it at all. I think it's still there for you to watch and enjoy. Right? The trouble is that they weren't able to continue that. I thought the first film was successful. The 2009 Star Trek, I thought was successful in that it was an entertaining movie about Captain Kirk and Spock. I thought Zachary Quinto Spock was freaking perfect, right? Just spot on perfect. And I thought a lot of it was very good, right? And again, it was a fun new take on Star Trek, but they just weren't able to do a second story. And it's really weird that they weren't, but they were, right? And I think it's probably because they didn't have good enough storytellers. Bottom line, I think probably that's where poor storytelling started to become the norm, right? Again, and if you're a storyteller, it doesn't matter what established canon is. You can write around it. So dumb. Still, the time to try and can explain the changes in canon such as the more advanced technology in strange new worlds. It doesn't need to be explained. Even though Doctor Who canon is often a subject of change, again, only since Jodie. Some in cinema are sacrosanct, like the Time Lord regeneration. He's over that. That's not sacrosanct. It's already been broken. This became a problem with the 11th Doctor, made way for the 12th. The showrunner Stephen Moffat got around the problem by a way of solving with a whole new regeneration cycle, stealing the line from the 5 Doctors on the Doctor. In typical fashion, for this universe, the rules are of such a gift were not firmly established. As such, it might be as a thing might be in Star Trek, when Moffat's successor Chris Chibnall introduced the timeless child concept and destroyed the show, so nobody was interested in it whatsoever. It solved the regeneration problem forever. No, it was shit. It solved the regeneration problem forever in that you wouldn't need it any much longer because they wouldn't be making it because nobody liked the show. No, it was shit. Absolute shit. Moffat established at the time because share regeneration and energy, and Chibnall built on that idea to say it all came from the Doctor in the first place. Again, dumb idea. Right? Desperately dumb idea. Despite all the massive change in mythology being controversial among fans, The Timeless Child is an example of how Doctor Who, about how Star Trek could break its own rules. Why are you using the Timeless Child? Are you out your fucking mind? It's not bad enough. It took a shit all over Doctor Who. You want to take a shit all over Star Trek as well? Unbelievable. That's crazy. That is cray-cray, darling. Child could break its own rules if the story required. The change does nothing to invalidate the Doctor's past regenerations. Yes, it does. Nor does it upend the limit of 12 per time. Yes, it does. The origin's ability was one of those past inconsistencies over the various serials and novels. Timeless Child cleverly. No, there was nothing clever about that. Just let it go, you dumb fuck. Right? You worked out not to put Timeless Child in the fucking title of this. But let it go, you dumb fuck. It failed. Everybody hated it. The Timeless Child cleverly made them all true from a certain point of view, and that made none of them work. It just destroyed it. 10th Doctor suggested that it was a naturally occurring process because of the timeless exposure to the untempered schism. The Day of the Master audio suggested regeneration was a result of experiments conducted by Rassler. I don't remember Day of the Master. What was the Day of the Master? Let me look that up. I don't think there was a Day of the Master. Day of the Master, maybe it is. 1 second. Oh, so this was a Ravenous. I don't even remember. Ravenous wasn't that good. Let's be fair. Founders told us that with regeneration now originating with the timeless child, a non-Gallifreyan, both are true. No, all of this is shit. I understand. Oh God. The only reason you're trying to desperately shoehorn this back into Doctor Who is so you don't feel like you were wrong, right? You don't feel like the timeless child and Jodie Whittaker was a complete and total failure, right? The more you legitimize it, the more you validate yourself, right? Timeless was a big change. Rather than retconning anything, it built upon the foundation laid by Paso. No, it didn't. Oh, God, so painfully. Look, the Mobius doctors. No. Oh, idiot. What's his name? Robert Holmes in a wig. A doctor does not make. Right? Star Trek can do this with anything from the Vulcan's psychic abilities to Pike's ultimate fate with the Telosians. Anything is possible in science fiction if the future storytellers build on what's already there and expand it into something new. It both honors the past without hampering the future. Fans will be upset one way or another. So the decision should ultimately rest on what's best for the story. Yeah, no, it never rests on what's best for the story. It rests on what's best for the person being paid to write the script. You know, what's the laziest, stupidest option? Because that's really the problem we have with modern day storytelling. Lazy, stupid scripting. Instead of seeing canon as a narrative prison, it's a springboard into new ideas. No, because you break you break canon. And it's shit. Time travel can fix anything, but it's a tricky tool in Star Trek or Doctor Who. Yeah, I know. God, this is dumb. Okay, only a few more paragraphs to get through. By the way, do I have that thing? Yeah, let me find this. I'm pretty sure I bookmarked this. I'm just seeing a Khan picture over here. God. Where is it? Oh, man. Did I lose it? I'm sure I bookmarked this. No. Oh, yeah, here it is. So annoying. Hang on. I got it, the way you bookmark things now, when you click on it, you don't get to the original post. There you go. Doink. Where are we up to? All this got a sort of calm picture just now, right? Look at that. No, Jim. Don't even think about it. Nope. Nobody. Nope. Yeah, you're absolutely right, this book. You have been and always shall be, my friend. Doink. Well, not only is it confusing as Doctor Who, the timeline of Star Trek is tricky to understand, especially with the prequel series like Star Trek Enterprise and Strange New Worlds and Discovery Season 1 and 2. No, forget it. They're not all in the same universe, dickhead. I think they probably would have been if Brian Fuller made it. But they're not in the same universe. The temporal Cold War from Enterprise turned hot as revealed in Strange New Worlds Episode 2, Tomorrow. Season 2 episode, oh god, that was shit. Yeah, Season 2 was just shit in general. It showed how the timeline can change noticeably for... Well, firstly, yeah, you got this weird Jim Carrey, Captain Kirk. Makes no sense whatsoever. Captain frequently used technology far advanced of his time, especially after crewman Daniels left 29th century technology in the past. The ripple effects of such events can mean Star Trek history unfolds both chronological and order of release. For example, Star Trek Voyager, the two-part story Future's End, reveals the computer age of 1990 wasn't supposed to happen. Instead, Ed Begley's character was Star Trek's most important because he repurposed technology. Now, I actually enjoyed that story as well, where they're in present-day LA. Thus, the more... 1990s LA. Thus, the more advanced bridge on the Enterprise in Strange New Worlds is oh god, I'm just bored with this shit. Rather than technology becoming sleeker and more advanced because of the ripple effect and Okay, this is just your fan wank. Okay, shut up. Just shut. Stop it. No, this is dumb. Don't be dumb. No dumb. Right? Bad dumb. Fine. So what's good coming out in the world of Doctor Who in the near future? Well, this got announced recently, which I was actually quite excited about. Is it opening up? There you go. Oh, the novel adaptations are on sale. 1 second. Yeah, I'll walk you through which ones. Did we go through this already? Yeah, these are all worth it, right? These are all worth it. And why are they on sale? Because probably one of the best novels of the 1990s, Goth Opera, is being made into an audio, which I'm really excited about. Actually, Goth Opera came out at the same time as something Harvest. Here, 1 second. List of Virgin New Adventures Doctor Who book. I think Blood Harvest. Blood Harvest was by Terrence Dicks. I think they came out together. So where was this? Because they used the Goth Opera to launch the Lost Stories range. I can't remember, but where is it? It was over here. Shakedown. No, Shakedown was the they should really do a what's it called again? Special edition that with new effects. It was like the cheap direct to video. It was directed by Kevin Davis. I think it was actually very good. Okay, where is this? Where is it? It had Bernie Summerfield on the cover. There's 60 books. I should be able to find it. Not Eternity in Bad Therapy, Damaged Goods, Chris on the Rational Planet, God Engine. God Engine was good. I like that one. Happy Endings. Was it before that? Also People, Just War, Shakedown. Blood Harvest. Oh, fine. So it's over here. So they should really do this as well, because they're both again they're both like kind of connected, as I recall, right? Well, the Seventh Doctor and Ace team up with a hard-bitten PI from 1929 Chicago. Bernice's staff is stranded on a vampire-infested world where with a Doctor former companion Romana. Wow! So that must be an E-space. The chief monster is a supernatural, powerful creature called Agonal, an elemental feeds off the agony and death, and also seeks as much of it as he can. Rathlon traps Agonal in his tomb, just as he trapped Burasa in the Five Doctors. There you go. You can hardly see the cover. But it's a bummer they're not doing this at the same time, because I do like those new adventure adaptations. Anyway. So, yeah, this was... 1 second. Do we have a link to Blood Harvest? Do we have a link to Goth Opera? No. Goth Opera. It was that? They just the fifth Doctor novel, Goth Opera, is written as a sequel to this novel. Okay, fine. And they changed the original cover. Had Nissa had a lot more blood on her shirt, which they then airbrushed out. Fine. Let's read about this adaptation when it's coming out, because I'm quite excited about this. Right, be honest with you. Get your Crossett's Garlic and Parkers ready. Vampires come to Manchester in a brand new full cast audio adventure adaptation of Paul Cornell's 1994 novel Goth Opera, due for release in 2024. For the first time since 2016, it's the return on the novel adaptation. I thought that was a great range. Goth Opera is a fan favorite Doctor Who book from the Virgin Missing Adventure range. Has been adapted by Elizabeth Miles into a 3-part audio play. Peter Davison as the fifth Doctor, Janet Fielding as Tegan, and Sarah Sutton as Nissa. So Elizabeth Miles isn't great, but the original book was good. She can probably adapt something, right? I would have thought so. So Manchester, 1993. The Time Lady Rueth, an old friend of the Doctor's, arrives on the planet to inform Earth's vampires that the arrival of their legendary Messiah is imminent. His rising will herald an age of endless night where the undead will reign supreme. All that's needed is the blood of a Time Lord. Okay. In Tasmania, the Doctor, Tegan, and Nissa are enjoying the sun and plenty of cricket when they are attacked by vampires. They escape unscathed, except for Nissa, who suffers 2 small puncture wounds on her neck. Compelled by attacker to remain silent, she can tell no one what she's turning into. Rythra is so determined to see the sense of the great vampire rise to power. If only the Doctor knew the truth, she's certain he would join her side. I have no memory of this whatsoever. I just remember liking this book. And help secure the future of vampire kind, no matter how much humanity must suffer. Goth Opera's guest cast includes Richard Armitage. Oh, no, he's good. Who reads the prologue as Rassilon. Oh, that's good. Because they cast him as Rassilon in some other thing. Natalie Gumid from Titans and Jekyll and Hyde as Rueth, and Mika Balfour, the Gold and the Bill as Yavin. Oh, Yavin was a great vampire, wasn't he? So it's a 3-disc. It's quite expensive, actually. How much is this? It's download $24, but it's like 3 discs long. I know that seems. I know. When was this coming out? Yeah, I'm getting this. I have actually. You want to say here? This blew my mind. A good cover can totally win me over, right? Can 100% win me over. Because I was on the edge of the. I was on the not the edge. I was on the fence about this one, right? The Quinn Dilemma. And it's just such a good cover. I really love this cover with like the different Doctors. It looks great, right? It really does look very good. This actually has got me on board to buy it. Fine. Producer David O'Malley said Goth Opera has everything: vampires, superpowers, blood, guts, and gore. And of course, Peter Davison along with Tegan and Nissa. It's also set in and around Manchester, which is lovely. It's a lovely opportunity to bring a young and exciting northern accents. Elizabeth Miles' brilliant adapted Paul Cornell's novel into an incredible cast, including a wonderful Richard Armitage, giving us a Rassilon prologue, the vampiric romp through the Whoniverse, not to be missed. The above price is a special pre-order, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's to recommend, mate. I am getting that. That really does look like it'll be a lot of fun. No other good news. Although I did just listen to this. I might review this today. Don't know. Let's see. I want to move over to the Wil Wheaton story. Star Wars lead Ewan McGregor makes desperately ask fans to write for Disney. No, it's not happening, darling. It is not happening. Now, where's the Wil Wheaton? Oh yeah, this story it's just weird, right? It's just weird, and I feel kind of bad for Wil Wheaton that he's this bonkers. And it is. I mean, it's just this. I mean, I think maybe he's a bit pro-Hamas, but doesn't want to be because he's so soy, right? And so Larry David is very Jewish. And so he's I think that's the only thing that makes more sense than anything else. Wil Wheaton, a Star Trek actor, Wil Wheaton has bizarre meltdown over Larry David's attack on Elmo. Appalling, unforgivable, despicable. What a soy cunt. No, you read that right, the headline right. Due to some clearly unresolved personal issues, Larry David's recent attacking of Elmo on live television has drawn an explosive and legitimately angry reaction from Star Trek to Wil Wheaton. I thought that was part of the show. I didn't know that was like in real life. The moment at the center is center of the Star Trek Generation actor vitriolic response is the first episode of NBC's Today. The first Fatal February episode of NBC's Today. Yeah, 1 second. Let me just. Fine. Let's pull up this clip, okay? Again, this is Bizarreville beyond Bizarreville. So he was promoting his show. I thought this was part of his show. Okay, this makes it so much better that it's actually real. Oh my gosh. It does. Doesn't it make it better?
Over to Alfred, check of the weather. And
Not yet.
Wait. Oh my gosh. You love Elmo, don't you?
Elmo, you okay?
Mr. Larry, Elmo liked you before.
Ask permission before you touch people, Larry.
Let's get back on the couch and let's talk about how you're feeling.
They would have canceled the show, Elmo, if it weren't last season.
All right.
I don't know what was going on there, but he's like, I just slapped a puppet. Who cares?
Larry, you've gone too far this time.
Yes, Larry.
Somebody had to do it. Is anybody really surprised?
He's gonna sue y'all for the teaser. I'm gonna sue him for
That's right, Louie.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's show you what's happening weather-wise. Didn't see that coming.
What?
Again, he's like, I just slapped a puppet. Nothing happened. What? Like it was a joke.
Something you want to say to Elmo?
And look at the camera and please.
And from your heart.
Give him a camera shot.
From where?
From your heart.
Exactly. No,
Okay.
right.
Go ahead. We're ready.
What organ are you talking about?
Yeah, just,
your heart.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Say you're sorry.
Elmo,
Larry?
I just want to apologize.
Thank you, Larry.
That's very big of you.
Elmo accepts your apology, Larry.
Thank God.
What
And Louie, will you drop the lawsuit?
Elmo accepts your apology.
He said he accepts it.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
Okay, Elmo.
All right, thank you.
You are such a sweetheart.
Thank you, Elmo.
Yes.
We're sorry.
Elmo, Larry, you are not a sweetheart. Have you ever heard that?
He's like, what the fuck? I've done really bad things. This isn't one of them.
I'm really sorry.
Okay.
I'm really sorry.
I know you are.
We can tell that you are.
All right.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com.
Is he going to come out and hit this guy as well?
/all day, or click the link right here.
Okay, fine. So that's what happened. I thought this was part of Curb Your Enthusiasm. He was just promoting Curb Your Enthusiasm. Okay, fine. They're enduring a discussion on mental health being hoisted by a Sesame Street resident and his father, Louie. I didn't know he had a father. The puppet was surprise attacked by David, who was set to appear later on the show's promote his upcoming new season on Curb Your Enthusiasm. Mr. Larry, Elmo liked you before, the puppet exclaimed in response to having his face smooched. And the actor before inviting him to come back and talk about how you feel. Okay, yeah, we saw the whole thing. They're not going to cancel the show for one last season, David said. But David Playford jabbed back. Yeah, it's in the can now anyway. Met by the association from today, Hot Savannah Guthrie. Okay, what's the name? Is Hot Savannah Guthrie? That he had gone too far this time, and Kobe in the case shot back. Somebody had to do it. Okay, fine. So let's get to Wil Wheaton. First thing from fine. However, despite obviously painful nature of the entire interaction, Wil Wheaton, Owen's self-admitted personal trauma led him to take the entire event as a direct attack on everything from his childhood innocence to his mental health awareness efforts. Okay. Survive. Oh my God! Holy fuck balls! What? He did all of this? Fuck me. So I heard about Larry David assaulting Elmo. Elmo's not real. No, there's nobody there for him to assault on television. But I didn't watch it until now because I knew it would upset me. Holy shit, it's even worse than I thought. What the fuck is with this guy? Elmo is like the best friend to a multiple generation of children. In Sesame Street universe, Elmo is a child. Okay, Elmo's not real. You insane fuck up. Right? Look, what did Biden like just fuck up so much your brain melted? Is that what happened? Because seemingly yes. Okay, seemingly yes. It was kind of putting mental health for caring for others in the spotlight, and Larry fucking David did that and thought it was going to be funny. What? It was funny. What an arsehole. What a stupid, self-centered, tone-deaf arsehole. Wil Wheaton, you need to have a t-shirt with that on it. What an arsehole. What a stupid, self-centered, tone-deaf arsehole. Full disclosure. All the time I was growing up, my dad would grab me by my shoulders and shake me while I screamed in my face. And he shook me more than once. He was always out of control, always in a furious rage, and always terrifying. I'm a 51-year-old man, and my heart is pounding right now, recalling how I felt when I was a little boy who loved Grover the way today's kids loved Elmo. Okay, so this appalling, unforgivable, despicable act. Okay, Elmo's not real, darling. Okay, no one was attacked. Fuck me, this guy's insane. This guy is just insane and somewhat hilarious, right? Somewhat hilarious. I'm going to say that I wish I'd been able to say this sort of thing that it happened to me. Larry David, this is not okay, and your obviously insincere apology clearly communicates that you don't get that. Yeah, there's nothing to get. You're fucked up and bonkers, darling. That's all there is to get. You are fucked up and bonkers. First of all, you aren't even in the segment, but you decided to barge in and draw focus because why? You couldn't stand above it, brought people together in a meaningful way that you can't. I think you may be overanalyzing this. Again, this is a puppet. Keep in mind, you can't stand that your appearance on national television to promote your wildly successful show was delayed for a few seconds while the adults talked about mental health. Yeah, you wanted to manufacture a viral moment where everyone gets to see what an arsehole you are, and so they'll tune in and watch you portray an arsehole in your last season of the show. That celebrates how great it is to be an arsehole without experiencing the consequences of being an arsehole. Man, I bet Wil Wheaton has often experienced the consequences of being an arsehole. Like, often. Right? I really want to know what race through his tiny little mind, and why again, what's going through your mind is your own. Why there was no person who spoke up to stop him from expressing violence towards a children's puppet, who was there to talk about his love and empathy when people were having a tough time, mattered and made a difference. Elmo and his dad are not real. They're not real. They were talking about empathy, love, and kindness, and caring for one another. Larry David was there to promote the final. Thank God. Maybe he'll go away now. Season of his television. You're just jealous. You're a jealous bitch. That's really what it comes down to. Big Bang Theory is over. You had like a little bit thing going there. Now you're just a jealous bitch, right? Who basically you never made it, right? Your best days are behind you, Wil Wheaton. Like, read the room, dickhead. Again, Will, mate. You read the room. It isn't always about you being the center of attention. And well, look at this diatribe he wrote, Mr. I want to be the center of attention. And understand what's happening at the moment, fucko. Understand that you are there are larger things in the world than you and your garbage ego. Again, this is directly aimed at Wil Wheaton. It's crazy how much it's aimed at Wil Wheaton, right? It's absolutely bizarre. You know who was watching the Today Show with their parents? Kids who also watch Sesame Street. Elmo is an avatar for children all over the world. Children who are too small to understand Elmo is a puppet, but you're not. And do you have any children? One second, Wil Wheaton. Let's look at Wil Wheaton. Wil Wheaton. I mean, I hope you have children. You're a fuck up. Is he married? Spouse. Okay, so they've been married. He has two. He actually has children. Look at that. Fuck me. Oh boy, I hope they're not. You know, getting gender affirming care, because we will probably be into that. Elmo inspired deeply meaningful, important a moment of collective support among disparate. I mean, you're still going, darling. I can kind of hear you crying. And struggling through traumas of pandemic, daily mass shootings, the rise of fascism. Okay, no, none of that happened. You just got Trump derangement syndrome and everything associated with Trump's violence and cruelty. There was no violence and cruelty. That's what's going on. Okay, mate, Will, darling. Here's what happened. There isn't fascism rising, other than Joe Biden's, right? But there isn't fascism rising in the street. You know, MAGA isn't fascist. It just isn't. You're just wrong. And you want to believe that more than you want to be wrong, right? You just don't want to be wrong. And you were wrong about Trump. You were wrong about, and everything you said Trump would do, Biden did. All the disasters you said Trump would bring, Biden actually did. Fine. And the shitty idiot Larry David couldn't leave it alone. For some reason, he had to indirectly tell everyone who opened their hearts to Muppet that they were stupid. Well, you are. And he thought it was a good joke to physically attack and choke a character who was beloved by children and adults alike. You know what tells impressionable young people about their... Oh, fuck. God, I mean, I think Child Protection Services should come and check out Wil Wheaton's kids, because it's clearly bonkers McBonkers, right? Completely off his mind. Let's try some person who mocks and belittles people who are vulnerable and sensitive. Well, I'll mock and belittle you, and I believe you're both vulnerable and sensitive, but I'm not mocking and belittling you because you're vulnerable and sensitive. I'm mocking and belittling you because you're a schmuck. Okay, it's different. He enjoys being cruel, and you love being cruel because he feels untouchable. Maybe I'm wrong, you are, but that's who I see whenever I can't find the remote and he's on my television. Okay, dude, you should have spoke this out with your therapist. By contrast, Elmo, who isn't real, and I'm up his teacher model to children all over the world, that kindness and empathy aren't weak or stupid, or in fact, any of the things people Larry David and my dad think of. My dad! Oh, Elmo and the Muppets teach children to be gentle and kind and celebrate our different cultures and express and embrace our complicated feelings. Elmo and the Muppets offer comfort and friendship and support to a world that's starving for it. Again, you're starving for it because you are completely insane, right? You don't understand. You just can't deal with you were wrong about Trump. And that's really all it is. You were just wrong about Trump. You know, you're completely bonkers, right? I hope that when the dust settles, Larry David's appalling behavior will see a footnote to a larger story about how for just one day, the Muppet made a difference and helped millions of people struggling feel less alone. With one question, Elmo got lots of people speaking openly and honestly about their mental health. Dude, you can't speak openly and honestly enough about your mental health. It is not good. A non-trivial number of people who none of us will ever know were inspired by and it was the last little nudge they needed to make the call or send an email to begin healing. Elmo probably saved lives in relationship by opening conversation. The man who would belittle and mock them isn't much of a man at all. Shame on you, Larry. Fuck you. Oh God, that was crazy. Look at him with his little mask on. It's so funny. Okay. So then he went on. Unfortunately, rather than overwhelming agreement of support, his post drew a fair share of criticism, with many people that says that due to his history, he was overreacting that on what was clearly a joke. But rather than offer a moment of self-reflection, fuck off. He can't handle that. Listen, if you're here to be dismissive if you're here to be dismissively blather on about how I can't take a joke, you can't, or it was just a joke, or I'm too sensitive, or whatever else comes to your bag of invalidation, please just leave my bag of it. No, you're just a schmuck. A lot of us had the same visceral reaction to the Grow. No one had this visceral reaction. Grow putting hands on the chart. You're just nuts. That you wow. And laughing about it, audio experience that you'll be grateful you don't share with us. And when you say your shitty little toxic and cruel thing, and you reduce the whole thing into a puppet and a joke, it is a puppet. You're doing to us what adults have done, adults did when we were kids, and it hurts us all over. You need to get out of Hollywood, you dumb schmuck. Oh my god. Oh my god. And I thought James Corden playing a cat was the biggest pussy I've ever seen. No. You're really somebody who wants to hurt another person simply because you can. No, none of that's going on. Elmo's not a person. You're just crazy. Maybe take the impulse to be a jerk and redirect it into be grateful they have no idea why this is so upsetting to many. It's not. You are absolutely nuts, mate. You are absolutely complete, like soy boy nutball nuts. Completely soy ball nutball nuts, right? Fine. I think I'm going to wrap up because on Tuesday, however, I have 3 reviews I got to get to. I'm going to get to them in the opening. It's going to be Sontaras versus Rutans, part 2, the Children of the Future. Wasn't bad. Wasn't good the first part. Ted, the TV show, 7 parts, cost them a fortune. It's not worth subscribing to Paramount for, but it wasn't bad if you do. And Miracle Man, right? Miracle Man. Is it called Miracle Man? One second. Because it was called Marvel Man, then Miracle Man, and here, one second. Let's have a look. I've got to download the JPEGs again. Oh, it is Miracle Man. It is. Oh, it just says. Making. We will get to that on Tuesday, right? Tuesday, much going on. Fine with that, ladies and gentlemen. With that, will we get to the rest of season 14? No, I really need to. Mate, fine. I'm gonna. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to commit to it because that means I've got to listen to it. Which is, it's not a chore. It's just like I got to get it done and then I got to think about it for a bit, right? So I don't know. This week, right? This week, I really got to get back to it. Fine with that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to wrap up. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to hit the end broadcast. I'm going to say good night. Good luck, and may your God will.